Welcome to Marketecture, where you can get smart fast with in-depth interviews of leading technology companies. I'm Ari Paparo. I'm joined today by Todd Parsons, the Chief Product Officer for Criteo. Thanks for being here, Todd.
Great to be here, Ari. Thanks for having me.
So everyone knows Criteo, one of the larger publicly traded ad tech companies. So I don't think we need to go into a lot of depth there. Criteo is known for retargeting, and I think everyone really understands that product very well. So we're not really going to talk about that unless you have some burning update you'd like to tell people about. I think we're going to focus on retail media, a little bit on IPM Web and how that's fitting in, and then just this week, Criteo announced a DSP product, or commerce DSP, or retail DSP. I'm not sure how you're talking about it. So
we call it Commerce Max. So yeah, we go into details about that product for sure.
Okay. Well, let's just start with IPM Web, and just kind of the sense of, is it going to continue to be offering its services? It's known for Bidswitch and for sort of custom technology work. Are those going to be continued pieces of the Criteo offering?
Yeah, they will be continue to be pieces of the offering. Right now, we're relatively young in terms of closing our transaction, and we're going through the process of looking at where we speed up certain integrations. Mostly those go to making our roadmap go faster, and then there are pieces, like you said, Ari, that will stay. Will stay more independent and neutral. Bidswitch is one of those because, obviously we want a trading environment to be, incredibly liquid and unbiased and unpreferenced. So Bidswitch is a place where we're being especially careful with integrating. And right now it really sits as its own neutral entity. On the other hand, we have been working with the IPM Web team for well over a year as a customer of their Bid Core product, their DSP product, and we use that in the Commerce Max announcement that we took out. So we can cover that, but that gives you a sense of how we're thinking about the portfolio. One other bit of mention there is. Part of the investment thesis and the partnership that we had with IPM Web was to look at how we would use the Media Grid, which is an emerging SSP product, on behalf of our retailers who are looking to do monetization beyond sponsored listings. And so Media Grid plays a very featured role in the product roadmap and the acceleration that we're doing as well.
All right. Well, you just gave me like 17 follow-up questions to ask, but
one at a time. Yeah.
Let's start easy. Let's do Commerce Max first. So what is
cool? Yeah, I mean, Commerce Max is you can think of it as a front door for brands, for large brands, to get to our retail media customers who are monetizing both on-site and off-site. So there's really, two sides to that value equation. For our retail media customers, they're looking to, provide as scaled and as whole of a customer journey, if you will, for a large brand or an agency that's representing them. Commerce Max is the way for that large brand or that agency to buy into a retail media partner. Wherever it's actually doing its monetization, Ari. So on-site with sponsored listings, or on-site display. Off-site if the audience is being mapped off-site as part of what's being bought by that brand or that agency.
Okay, that's very clear. So it's a buying platform for your network, effectively, of retailers that you've developed that are selling a mixture of kind of standard IAB units, but also product listing ads, which is what you offer on the retail side.
And that offering does extend offsite as well.
And
so
offsite,
you can think if you wanted to package a campaign that reached into offsite programmatic inventory, and soon extends to social. It's pretty easy to pull that together. A key feature of that relationship is really closed loop measurement. which has been, really the holy grail, I think, for retail media, to be able to take an in-stock product, a SKU, and say, okay, I've got a pretty good idea of what the customer journey was offsite to onsite, and I can trace that back in a very clear return on ad spend metric or whatever the other KPI is that the retailer who's monetizing is using to convince a brand to spend.
Okay, so as a follow-up, do you disclose who the leading retailers are? Like, what are the top couple of brands?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of very large retailers. In the Commerce Max launch, of course, we talked about Best Buy, which is one of our marquee retail clients. And we worked with Group M on that launch as well, just anecdotally. But, additionally, we have very large clients on retail media like Target and Carrefour and Asda. And more recently have begun working in APAC with Flipkart. So just a few examples. And of course, we work with a lot of kind of mid-sized retailers that are anxious to get in the game as well. But I would say the first chapter of that, to be fair, has been very focused on the larger retailers that have the scale to build one of these businesses and be credible by themselves.